Okay, you all did not know I was live. Come in, hit that like, hit the share button. Let's get right into the topic. Let's see what's going on with the economy. Happy Friday to you. I hope that you are having a great Friday. And if you're not, maybe I can make it just a little bit better for you, right? Let me give you a smile. And hey, let's get your Friday better. So, with that being said, drop your city and state or country. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Drop that in the comment section. And let's get into the topic again. Let's look at cryptocurrency price. Why cryptocurrency? Because certain cryptocurrencies, not all, will be used to reset this currency system. Also, silver and gold. Why silver and gold? Because silver and gold is real money. I know Dave Ramsey probably tell you different, or Warren Buffett will say different, that gold is just a shiny piece of metal, but gold is God's money. It never fades, it never corrodes. As Robert Kiyosaki says, it's been around since the cockroaches. It has intrinsic value to it. And look at my crypto chain link is in the deep green today. So that means we had some deep gains. We got chain link up 5%. Also, Bitcoin will be the people's money. As banks crash and collapse, Bitcoin will rise. Hello to you. The grind doesn't stop. No, the grind does not stop. But I do have my money on autopilot, so I don't have to grind all the time. So I allow my money to do the grinding for me, and where I'm not always working for the money, but the money is working for me. So put your money on autopilot, let it grind. I'm sure Mr. Robinson is doing it, because we don't have time, right, to continue to chase money. Time is our most valuable asset. It's the most expensive thing that you spend. Also, we got ADA. ADA is up 7.5%. ADA has been definitely getting some gains in. So that's where we are with the crypto world. So let's get into this. What is the BRICS nation? Well, we know, or you should know from following me any amount of time, that BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, India, soon to be Iraq. I think Iraq has already joined in. China, South Africa, and Saudi Arabia, right? South Africa is already in, Saudi Arabia. We also have Operation Sandstorm. Operation Sandstorm is 142 countries have collaborated, connected together, saying we are dumping the United States dollar because we have the commodities. Anyone knows that commodities are, if you don't know, now you know, commodities rule the world. Commodity is what we use on a daily basis, whether it's natural gas, whether it's oil, whether it's our clothing that we wear, right? Whether it's the food that we eat, the wheat, the grain, eggs, milk, right? Meat, steaks, whatever. If you're a meat eater, shrimp, whatever it may be, right? It's all based on a commodities world. So let's look at Silicon Valley Bank. We talked about the collapse and the restructuring is what I really call it. It's a restructuring of banks that's going on now. So why do banks have to be restructured? Because simply put, central banks' digital currency will be launched in July. Biden bucks, whether you want to call it Biden bucks, CBDCs, digital dollars will be launched, will be coming in July. Why? Because the current financial system is in debt, is over $32 trillion, um, you know, compared to where we were just some years ago. So with this, and just ask yourself, if you was extremely in debt, right? What would you do? You will file bankruptcy. You would just bankrupt that old account out, those old charges out, and you would just go for a clean slate to move ahead financially. And this is what the United States government will do. This is what happened when stimulus and PPP loans and everything came about. That was the beginning of an end. That was the beginning process at that time to give the people money that they know will be depreciating, that will lose its purchasing power, in order to go ahead and reset. It's called the Great Reset. In fact, I have a book right here that I've been reading by Richard Florida, or that I've read several times, that discusses the Great Reset. So central banks, the global powerhouse, will belly up. Let's listen to Robert Kiyosaki. If you've been following me any amount of time, you know I love Robert Kiyosaki. He is the greatest financial educator of all time, right? And let's hear his words on it as he have an interview on Fox News. Again, you all come in, hit the thumbs up, say hello, right? Let me know where you are tuning in from so we can notify the algorithm that I am live and get more people. Thank you, Facebook, for that thumbs up, and get more people in on how to prepare, how to get ready for the greatest wealth transfer that this generation will ever. This will be, yes, I agree with you. He is the GOAT. He is the greatest of all times. And I am someone that love and appreciate and is open to financial education. If you're not educated, if you don't know what's real money versus fake money, if you don't know the difference between fiat and cash and currency, you're going to be left behind. If you don't know the purpose of cryptocurrency moving forward, right? If you don't know the monetary system is going to be changed, right? As the United States dollar index has declined to about almost at 3% in March. 4 losing weeks. I could break down the number four, but I won't. But let me just say it like this: four is representation number of what is happening in the earth realm, right? 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. Um, 4 directions: north, east, west, and south, where we get the word or the acronym news from, right? And by the fourth day, 4 things were created: light, land, liquid, and life, vegetarian, fruit, in Genesis, right? In Genesis. So 4 represents things that will happen in the earth realm. And so in the last 6 months, we've seen the reversal of the dollar. Some of you all may have been you seeing right now your gas prices is increasing maybe 10 to 20 cents, as Russia and Iran and Brazil and China, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, right? They are planning a gold-backed stable coin, right? While Brazil and Argentina seek a shared currency. So these countries are collaborating against the United States in their dominance of a global trade. Russia and Iran are working to create a gold-backed stablecoin. So this is why it makes financial sense for your financial peace and well-being to have cryptos and commodities simultaneously. So let's go ahead and play this.
Looking like a positive month in the markets as well. And along comes our friend Robert Kiyosaki here to say March might be going out like a buying lion, but that doesn't.
Hold on, let me pause right there. It is almost too late to learn about debt and borrowing right now, because there's no cheap money. There's no cheap money. The Fed continues to raise the interest rates. That game is played out, to be honest with you. It's best to take your cash, in my opinion, because of the gains that you have, right? That you can position yourself to get, versus trying to borrow money right now from the banks, because quantitative tightening is here. I mean, they're tightening up on who can get loans. In fact, if you want to have a vehicle right now, that's almost a 4-figure payment, over $1,000, if you have an 800 credit score just to get a new vehicle. So quantitative tightening is here. So debt and borrowing. Now, there is a way you can do debt and borrowing where you can leverage through decentralized financing through cryptocurrency. And you never have to sell your crypto. And you can then take out cheaper money and leverage your cryptocurrency to borrow against. But the question is, do people, again, let's go back to financial education. Do people know what to do with the borrowed money? It should not be to spend on liabilities. Liability takes money out of your pocket. It's not a income producing asset. Most people borrow money only to spend it. And even the word spend has END on it. you borrow money to make more money so your money can go out and make friends. So if you're going to borrow money, in my opinion, it's best to learn about decentralized financing and crypto, because there's no more cheap money available out here that the banks are giving you. And the government is enforcing quantitative tightening, which means they're raising interest rates almost every quarter by their basis points. So, Robert talks about borrowing against assets, right, and buying assets. That's the only way you should be interested in playing that game. But also know what assets will outperform the interest rate on the debt. That was good, wasn't it? I also know what assets will outperform the interest rates that you're going to receive on the debt. All right, let me get back to this, Robert Kiyosaki, before I get off too much off topic.
Another strong day for stocks that seems to show there's none of that anxiety going on. Looking like a positive month for the markets as well. Comes our friend Robert Kiyosaki, moving out like a buying lion, but doesn't mean April will come in like one, or at a minimum finish the same way. Robert, you're not buying this comeback, are you?
No, I mean, Neil, all these years you've been in my corner. I've been saying this is trash. And all they're going to do is print more of this, which makes it worse. That's the problem. So we're going to print more. So I'm very concerned. The 60-40 thing about 40% stocks, 60% stocks, 40% bonds. The problem is the bond market. That's my concern.
Got it. For those of you who only listen on radio right now, Robert was just holding up a CNBC mug when he was saying it was trash. No, he was referring to currency, the dollar. So you don't think that's the future, right? I mean, and that's the problem. And you've been sort of saying, all right, park it in something that has some tangible value. So break that down what you like.
Well, I don't like to invest in anything they can print. And they can print this here, and so I stay away from anything like that. I've been on your program for years. So this here is a Kennedy $50, 1964. It's worth $10 today because it was pure silver back then. And also in 64, this went from a silver certificate to a Federal Reserve note. And most people don't know what that means. It means they're going to print as much as they like to pay your bills. That'd be like you paying your bills just by writing bad checks. We'd go to jail for doing what the Fed and the Treasury are doing.
Well, let me ask you a little bit about that, because there are a lot of people who've been waiting for their ship to come in with some of these precious metals and gold and silver, and they've been certainly percolating of late. I mean, gold now teasing that $2,000 level, had a great year, but it never seems to last, or of late it never seems to last. Why are you convinced this time will be different?
Well, because, again, thank you all this time. I talked about Lehman Brothers when it crashed. I mean, I
yes,
talked about what's his name? Swiss Bank, Deutsche Bank. But the biggest bank that's going to go down is the Bank of Japan, because the Bank of Japan, carrying the interest rates at zero or whatever they did, financed the derivatives markets. And the derivatives market, as what Warren Buffett said about derivatives, they're weapons of mass financial destruction. And the derivatives market in the world today, financed by the Bank of Japan, is a quadrillion.
Well, but stop what you're saying there, because a lot of it, you're a genius, Robert, but it takes a while for me just to catch up with you. But you're talking Bank of Japan isn't like Chase or Wells Fargo or Citigroup. It is their central bank. And Japan, it actually is a combination of their treasury as well. If that goes belly up, I mean, that is a huge deal. Now, they've been dealing with zero rates and virtually no inflation. That seems to be ending, and they could be reversing that. But why is this such a doomful call?
Well, because the Bank of Japan has been financing derivatives. Derivatives are a quadrillion. That's 1,000 trillion. Quadrillion is 1,000 trillion. So we haven't seen the crash coming yet. So that's why we've been
dealing this with more than a decade, right? A decade and a half now, but it hasn't happened.
Well, it's been going on since 1944. There's a thing called, when we became the reserve currency of the world. This was called.
No, but
Chiffin's
I'm talking about
dilemma.
Japan and this phenomenon going on there.
Right.
that it would have evidenced itself earlier, wouldn't it?
Well, it takes a while for an earth. The San Andreas Fault still sits there.
True.
Which will mean California falls into the ocean if that happens. But I'd rather not live on the San Andreas Fault right now. That's all I'm saying.
So what do you see happening? Spell it out. I mean, you obviously aren't buying this comeback, whatever we want to call it, in the markets or stabilizing on this bank thing. You don't think we're over those bank problems, right?
No. And this, but people for years, since 2008, interest rates have been dropping. And all of a sudden, the interest rates go. Powell has raised interest rates faster than any time in history. So somebody says, well, he's playing Volcker. Well, Volcker raised interest rates over years. Powell's doing it over months. So he's crushing it right now. And so I'm just saying, this idea of don't fight the Fed and all that, I think that's old advice. I would stay with gold and silver. This little 64 Kennedy $0.50 is worth $10 today because it's real silver. And that's what I've been saying for years. You've allowed me to say it. I've been Chicken Little or Paul Revere for all these years, but I'd still rather have gold than this stuff.
So when you look at what's happening now, a lot of people say we dodged a Lehman moment, we dodged, a meltdown. You just think we've put it off a little bit. Is that the gist of what you're saying?
Well, the problem with Americans is, we live in a fishbowl. We can't see out. Everybody can see in. And right now, the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, they're going to shift to the Chinese gold yuan. And that's going to send trillions of these things back to us. Triffin's dilemma was we had to put all of this money out there with the petrodollar so they could buy oil and something like this. But China's coming after us, man. China's coming after. Jim Rickard said it best. He calls it a currency war. Currency war. And so that's why I'm very concerned. And, I appreciate always the time you give me to be Chicken Little or Paul Revere.
No. You called a lot of things very accurately. And I think that people should hear what you have to say. I mean, we tried just as we tried with every report.
Okay, I want to pause right here. Silver for this month is up 13.57%. You see where gold is going for this month. Almost, it reached $2,000. Now, oftentimes, I do not suggest for, unless you are a 7-figure, 8-figure income earner, and in some cases, 6-figure income earners, but even them, I suggest that, again, I'm not a financial advisor, right? But I just highly suggest that silver is the play. Silver is the play because gold is a hedge against inflation, meaning that gold is for people to convert their rich and wealthy people to convert their money into, to convert cash into, let me specify that, so that they will not lose the purchasing power like a lot of middle class or poor working class Americans are going to do. Now, let me give you the numbers on that. So I tried to have my Microsoft Word up, but for some reason it was not working. And this is why I do not suggest investing in physical gold for most of the middle class, or if you're not a 7 or 8-figure income earner, but I do, if you want to get just some affordable gold, that I see nothing wrong with that. There is some gold that I can show you. It's probably about $30, right? Something on that terms, but I do have some digital gold for you, and I will explain the difference in that. So for conversation and application of knowledge sake, let's say that you do, as gold is approximately $1,960 right now. You have the money. You do have the money. You have $196,000 to obtain, to purchase 100 ounces of gold. So you have $196,000. And again, for educational purposes, let's go on to say that you decide that you want to resell, which will also mean that you're getting back into the government system, which unfortunately is a lot of what the middle class or poor working class really just want to do. They can't wait for the capital gains increasement to resell it. Well, when you resell it, you're going to get more cash or central banks currency if that's what's available. The whole purpose of positioning yourself, in my opinion, for this great wealth transfer in human history is so that you can stay outside the government system. The reason why you want to stay outside the government system is so you won't be highly taxed. So you won't be overworked and underpaid. And when central banks digital currency comes in, the government is going to have more control over how you spend it, the time limit on what you spend, and also if you have the ability to even buy assets with that. In fact, the IMF states this way: you will own nothing and be happy. So when central banks digital currency come again, that's to be launched in July, you will have stipends, you will have laws and rules and regulations on what you can or cannot spend. So now while you have cash, in my opinion, it is best to convert it into these commodities that's going to bring in that wealth transfer while you still have the freedom and the power to do so. So, okay, you have 100 ounces of gold, and let's say the price reaches $2,160, right? 2,100 is $1,060. That's a plus $200 gain. So you decided at plus $200, you want to take some profits and get back in the government system, get back in the slavery system, and use their CBDCs or the cash. So, because you all do understand that investing, when you investing money, passive income, is often taxed at 0% or 10%, but working income, job income, is often taxed as high as 30%, from 28 to the highest 35%. So labor money is taxed higher and more than money that is leveraged. And this is the financial education that a lot of people need, this is why they are financially struggling. That's why the grind doesn't stop. They're always grinding because they're making money that's highly taxed, or they're getting capital gains investments that will be highly taxed, that will take away 30 to 40% of their wealth. Dr. or DR says U.S. economy is going to collapse very soon. I definitely agree with that. And so that's $216,000, right? $200 profit, 100 ounces. Your initial purchase price was $196,000. Now, this is the part that many people do not calculate, right? So you got $260,000 to the good. You subtract that from your initial amount that you had to invest into it, right? $196,000, even to me, to even make it worthwhile. Most people don't have that. Now you're taxed at 0.28%. And it's amazing how I hated math in school, but I love math when it comes to money. So that's 5,600 and I think $600. You know how much your profit would be? It's $20,000 profit. Now you may be saying, well, Queen, that's not bad. With $196,000 invested in it, I do have things that's better than a $20,000 return. It's better than nothing. It is, but it's not the best. And I teach people how to transition from being good to great, from having better to the best. $20,000 for 6 figures into something that gold has a track record of taking time to accumulate. So Robert Kiyosaki's advice is really for people in his asset class that are decamillionaires, multimillionaires. But the advice that you can take and apply, this is just a scenario if you're investing in gold, is he also talks about silver, which is the poor man's wealth. That's more middle class, I believe, because silver will outperform gold in a bull run. And silver is under $40 an ounce right now versus $1,900 an ounce with physical gold. But again, I do have something to show you. Just stick around, that you can get digital linked gold, which is cryptocurrency and commodities that's linked by gold. It's not backed by gold. It is linked to gold, which means you can retrieve it and you can receive the physical gold itself and receive the upfront potential of that, which is the capital gains growth of that. So your money, your cash now becomes inflationary and deflationary at the same time, meaning your cash is growing faster than the inflation rate. That's what you want, because inflation is like at 8 to 10% per month, not per year. I had this conversation with someone that was in cash value life insurance, for example. And I'm like, getting 8 and 10% a year annually is not a whole lot when inflation is averaging 8 to 10% monthly. That's not a whole lot. There's not a lot of meat left on the bones for me, right? And so some people get that in a day. Some people get that in a month. So why not? So let's talk about the difference of having, and why we are shifting now from debt-based money to now back to commodity-backed money. Robert Kiyosaki held up cash, and now you see on your cash that it states that it is Federal Reserve notes. But this is what cash used to look like. It used to have gold and silver certificate on it, because you can redeem it for, just like I'm telling you about these crypto certificate, because you can redeem it for the physical gold, for the real money. As my mentor would say, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense to have 100% of man's money and 0% of God's money. People, that makes no sense. Money must have intrinsic value. It must not be able to fade. It must not be able to corrode. In fact, I showed a video. I might show you all this video. If you remember during my time, it was this cartoon called Uncle Scrooge, right? And Uncle Scrooge, he had a pool of just gold. He was swimming his gold. And there was a rat in this cartoon that was eating the cash, because cash is made from commodity. It's just not linked by a commodity. It's not backed by a commodity. That changed in 1971. So we have 100 years that the monetary system has not been changed. And now the 100 years, the time is up. It's time out for other countries, specifically Africa, sending their rich commodities for paper currency that's only colored paper and has no value in it. Why would you give your gold, your gold and diamonds, or your physical gold to someone for a piece of paper that's colored, that loses its purchasing power, while your gold, your oil, your commodities increases? And why does it increases? Because it's things that people use on a daily basis. And these are all God's creation. It's not man-made. When man cannot make something, it appreciates in value. But man can print cash and make cash, and it depreciates in value. So I have to break this down, because we still have people that saying they're paper chasing when they should be crypto and commodity chasing. Hello, Eric. It is by time that we join together to do a live stream. Mr. Eric Thomas. So get with me. Let's do another live stream about the future of this economy and where it's headed. And so, no, physical gold right now, not for the middle class. I don't think so. But I definitely for physical silver and copper for the middle class, and crypto commodities, absolutely. If you want, because this is going to be a long, drawn out recession, aka depression, that we're about to enter, right? And so you have fiat money, which Ms. Rob Kiyosaki refers to as fake money, right? You've heard of commodity money and fiat money. So while both are types of money, commodity money and fiat money are very different. What represents and what's the grounds, what's the foundation of their value. So as this is something that people need to learn, this is the financial education. So what is commodity money? Commodity money is things that are made up of gains that have, again, substance. Substance, as we talked about, faith in the Bible, faith is the substance of things hoped for. You have to have substance. The evidence of things not seen. All of these commodities come from the ground. At some point, they're not seen, but they're brought into the scene. So you have substance of money is made, or the potential use. Some commodities throughout history has been salt, for example, gold, even tulips has been used for money. Cryptocurrency, copper, tea. I have some cryptocurrencies that's backed by both tea, water, coffee, all of this. Cocoa beans. I have a cryptocurrency that's backed by or linked to cocoa beans, aka cacao. Tobacco, right? Barley, large stones. Most forms of money throughout human history has always been commodities money. And now we are coming into commodity crypto. Now we're coming into commodity crypto, where we're combining the best of both worlds, right? Eric says, anything for you, you know this. Thank you. Love what I'm hearing for you. Thank you so much, Eric. And I love it that you're able to just take some time and say hello and hop on the live stream. And so with this being said, what is fiat money? Fiat is the very opposite, right? It is issued by the government. It's not backed by any physical commodity. Again, up to 1971, it was. President Nixon, in the middle of on a commercial of the highly viewed show back in that time, which was Bonanza. And I say this all the time. I'm assuming that's that was my grandmother's favorite show because that's my mother's middle name, Bonanza. He came on a commercial and made the announcement. And when he made the announcement, he said it was going to be temporary. He said, we're temporary stopping the convertibility of cash into real money, which is gold. This is something that Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman won't teach you, or Warren Buffett. It was supposed to be a temporary move. Why? Because Spain was on their way to the United States. They saw the depreciation of the dollar, even in 1971, on their warships with a boatload of cash, United States cash, and said, we want our money. We want the gold. Because at that time, the United States promised other countries to protect their gold at Fort Knight and to provide them military defense support as well. But they saw that the value of the dollar was crashing. And so before they was able to arrive on United States soil, Nixon made a change, right? He made a change. And many Americans right now, they have been bamboozled, they're tricked, they've been uneducated or miseducated because they don't know that gold and silver is real money. And they don't understand really the process of converting their cash into assets. Right? Real estate, God is not making any more land, but real estate right now is highly still overpriced. Right? And so it's even more difficult to get out that cheap money, that debt from the banks with quantitative easing. They're tightening it up. Quantitative tightening, I mean. Keep saying easy. They're tightening up, meaning they're making it more difficult for you to get debt, to get real assets. And even then, if you do get it, they're making the interest rates higher. And so commodity allow you to have the exchange. It allows you to have more freedom and flexibility as well. And the evidence of commodity, they go all the way back to the ancient Egyptian, right? Mesopotamia ages. This is the practice existed before then. Again, Robert Kiyosaki said it this way: commodities have been around before the cockroaches, and they'll be around long after. So again, you have Russia and Iran that's creating a gold-backed stable coin. So it is meeting the old with the new, just like in the Bible. You got Old Testament, New Testament. One does not do away with the other. They combine and they collaborate to have a fulfillment of fullness. So the dollar dominance of global trade, right, and investment is facing a crisis right now. Let me show you all this clip by the president of Kenya, that announced to his citizens to get out of the United States dollar. And then he not only said that, said to dump the US money, but he says you need to get out, and you need to get out in a couple of weeks. Right? People, July, this April 1st will be tomorrow. Right? You got April 1st will be tomorrow. So you have April, May, and June, and then you have 3 months. You have 3 months. Not all of ISO 200-022 coins will be adopted, so I hope you have the correct ones. Not all of those coins will be adopted. I tell people all the time, do you think when the elite move that they will just allow people to Google ISO 20022 and be able to see the coins that's going to dominate this financial currency system? No, they will not. They will not. I don't know. I can Google right now that, right? They do not give you that information that freely and that easy. So where should we be buying gold? Well, first I'll tell you that, but let me play that. I suggest buying silver and copper because both of them are have a shortage right now, and copper is under like $3, and silver is under $4. You know, during a bull market, they outperform gold. If you're going to get gold, I suggest gold linked cryptocurrency because you can also get passive income at the same time, and you're just not buying and holding. You're mining and growing. That's a big difference. It's a big difference because people that buy and hold, they're going to have large tax liabilities when they cash out on their capital gains up to 30%.
People who work numbers, I am giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you surely might go into losses. You better do what you must do because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks.
He states in a couple of weeks, people. So why isn't the United States dollar? Why is the United States president giving his citizens their time? Why are they saying that the United States banks are safe? The 16th largest bailout, Silicon Valley Bank having crashed. New York Bank. New York is the hub of the financial system as Silicon Valley is in the United States. So let me introduce this to you, cryptocurrencies that are linked by commodities. Don't you think it's a smart idea that if the dollar used to be linked by commodities, that you should have crypto that's linked by commodities as well? If the dollar used to be backed by gold in 1971 and then in 1974, it was known as the petrodollar because now they replaced the gold with the oil. Most of that was Saudi Arabia oil, right? Then don't you think it's a smart move to have cryptocurrencies that's linked to and connected to real world assets, real world commodities, right? And so you have Citibank that's saying 5 trillion of CBDCs will be circulating in the economy, people, by the end of this decade. Blockchain, next $1 billion users and trillions in value. Blockchain technology. This is what Robert Kiyosaki talks about. Bitcoin and Ethereum right now are the only cryptocurrencies that have already been titled a commodities. Every other cryptocurrency right now is speculation until that is set in stone. Bitcoin, you can Google this for yourself, and Ethereum are the only cryptocurrencies that have been approved and has been classified as commodities. So you have blockchain technology is approaching a turning point. We see billions and trillions of dollars in value. The next wave of crypto adaptation will be primarily driven by the rise of central bank CBDCs and tokenize people is right here in black and white. I'm not making this up. Real world assets. Everybody talking about ISO. I'm not saying, you know, any of that won't come into fruition, but you don't know right now. So why not get the cryptocurrencies that are tokenized of real world assets? I'm going to introduce that to you right now. This is, this article, Citibank released yesterday. Having blockchain technology, cryptocurrency that are tokenized by real world assets. So what does that look like? I'm glad you asked. I'm about to show it to you. You have these cryptocurrencies. And I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, the best cryptos are the ones that are not widely talked about. Anybody that knows the government central banks, they make their moves, their power moves in silent. They don't make their moves well known. Someone asked, where's the best place to buy gold? I talk about these cryptocurrencies that's linked to physical gold, meaning that you can retrieve it for the physical gold. You can retrieve it for the physical gold. The future of gold exploration. So this is what's called the light paper. If you're familiar with cryptocurrencies, you know, there are some people who have purchased cryptocurrencies that have not even read the light paper. I mean, the white paper on it. Read the white paper. These are called light paper, right? Read the white paper on your cryptos. But at any rate, this is crypto mining. Again, this is the concept of buying and growing, right? Or accumulation of tokens. Remember the article I just showed you talked about the tokenization of real world assets. This is what this means. Tokenizing real world assets. And in this case, it's gold. Create a blockchain ecosystem. Why is blockchain important? Well, as Robert Kiyosaki say, it's not the Bitcoin that make Bitcoin powerful. It's the blockchain technology. Decentralized means anyone in the world can download these software and mine a node. Anyone in the world knows that gold is gold everywhere in the world. Oil is oil everywhere in the world. Wheat is wheat everywhere in the world. Bitcoin is Bitcoin everywhere in the world. And these cryptocurrencies are the same because they are commodities. Most people usually cannot get access to investing in commodities because they have to be a sophisticated investor. Well, not sophisticated. What is it? I don't know why I keep saying sophisticated, but you have to have a certain income level. So these are digital licensing software, right? Accredited investor. That's what I'm trying to say. These are digital licensing software that you can receive, you can purchase at wholesale price, not the retail price. So making it very affordable for the middle class to get the physical commodity, such as gold. So you have a tangible physical commodity, such as gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, agriculture, real estate, royalty cash flow, when more projects are being announced. So DET is an acronym for decentralized, right? That means no one can stop it, no one can block it or prevent you from sending it. Centralized was what the government is going to release in January, starting in July, meaning they can stop you, they can block you, they can say yes or no to whatever you're trying to purchase through central banks' digital currency, right? Through central banks' digital currency. And so someone says BTC is Ethereum was given a free pass. The SEC would be in hot water. Why would the poor invest in something that's left the station? I tell people all the time, for the working middle class, you know, getting in at Bitcoin right now at 28,000, you make 2x or 3x. But you got these cryptocurrencies right now that are fractions or pennies on the dollar. And it has the likeliness of a Bitcoin and an Ethereum. Why do you think the government will freely educate and get the poor information about XRP? Because when the government get ready to make a move with a currency system that they're going to use, like they did with gold in the 1930s, they confiscated every citizen that had the money that they was about to use. They suppressed the price until they confiscated. They gave a $10,000 fine or 10 years in jail or both if they caught you with gold. And then after they confiscated all the gold, now they did give citizens back cash, which was, to me, an uneven exchange. But once they confiscated in the gold, then they spiked the price high. So what if they decide that, most people don't know that Ripple Net and XRP are not the same. The government wants the Ripple Net technology. Right? You have to be an accredited investor again to even invest in Ripple Net. Meaning that at minimal, you have to make $250,000 a year if you're single. At minimum. They don't make what they're going to use affordable. Again, now I'm not against XRP, but just know they can suppress the price. And when cryptocurrencies are under SEC regulations, it's a different game. All right, so back to this. So now you have the accumulation, right? You have the proprietary satellite remote technology. You are able to retrieve the physical gold. You are accumulating tokens on a daily basis. They are redeemable for the physical gold, right? So with this software, with this mining license, you're getting passive cryptocurrency that can be liquidated and rewards every day, 365 days a year, 24/7. So this is gold linking, not gold back, right? And you can convert this to a transferable NFT, becoming your perpetual asset. I got something to show you all about this. So you have a perpetual income producing asset from a one-time purchase. One-time purchase. You're talking about continuity crypto cash flow. So as you are rewarded to license holders or purchaser, 100% of the token must be digitally mined. And so one token is retrievable for 1 gram of the real physical gold. You can take delivery of the physical gold for every 1 DLG token. So I'm going to show you all how many tokens I have. And I'm not just in digital link gold. Now, what does it mean by NFTs, that you can convert these in NFTs? Well, some people in November of 2021 purchased crude oil, black gold, aka in the United States known as Texas tea. If you ever watched the Beverly Hillbillies, that song should be in your mind, right? When they struck gold on their land and they moved out. Well, now this is a convertible NFT. It's already listed on OpenSea. And guess what? The current price, if you want to purchase this NFT, is $158,600. Now, this person could have purchased their license for $2,000, right? For $2,000. And now they have an NFT on OpenSea. Now, you may be asking, well, why would someone purchase this NFT? I'm glad you asked that as well. Because they have perpetual income coming in for life. That's like if you purchase an apartment complex at $158,000 that's full of tenants, that's promising you that you're going to get that income from those tenants for life, or the life, it already has equity built in and the cash flow built in simultaneously at the same time. So you can go to OpenSea yourself. You can see this listing. I will definitely put the link in my comments. One license, one purchase. Again, I don't know what this person purchased their license for, but I think the starting amount was $2,000 to purchase it. Now, they sell BNB $158,000. And this is the NFT. So this is why, because now the opportunity to get black gold, oil, crude oil licenses is no longer available from the DET ecosystem. And DET here stands for Decentralized Eco-Friendly Blockchain Technology. The opportunities to purchase these licenses have a small window. Once they cut it off, once they say we're no longer, right, that's what makes it a very valuable asset. Like Bitcoin is having. It has a certain amount of tokens that will be in circulation for a certain amount of time. Every 4 years, that amount of tokens decrease. So the people that's holding the tokens, it makes their valuable, it makes the value of it increase. Now, let's look at some other crypto-linked commodities that people can get in that's under a penny or that's fraction of a penny right now while the licenses are available. Yes, thank you so much. Devalued currencies. Yeah. Vietnamese down. Yeah. Looks like it is a great purchase to get these, to convert them into NFTs, because the people that want to get the NFTs, right? Wow, I just got an announcement. Someone just sent me something. It says that she owns real estate. And she cannot get her money out the banks. Wow. Okay, wow. I'm just telling you, they tying people's money up because they don't want you. And this is what central banks digital currency is going to do. This is what central banks digital currency is going to do. They're not going to allow people to get assets. Seriously, they're not going to allow people to get cryptos, get real estate, get silver, physical silver and gold. They're going to block it, right? And so these are the cryptos. These are the daily mining rewards, right? This is the portfolio value of the total value estimated of the assets that I have. And this is my personal portfolio right now, where it says 70,000. Now, mind you, I just got in Thanksgiving of 2022 of last year. And I'm getting the daily rewards as well as the commodity future gains of the commodities at the same time. So this is the dollar amount that's being mined even as I'm live streaming, even as I'm talking, right? The mining cycle goes 24/7. Now tell me, what cryptocurrency can you invest in that you can get infinity liquidated cash flow on a daily basis that's paying you to hold it? I'm not talking about staking crypto. No. I'm not talking about passive income that way, because staking is like a money market account that you have to keep your money in it for months, and it has to be held up and tied up, and you're only getting that cryptocurrency, more of the crypto. I'm talking about where you can have infinity liquidity, infinite liquidity, and you can liquidate this on a as-need basis, hopefully, right? Because me personally, I would never want to sell the goose that lays the golden egg. I always want to have the goose. And unlike the regular crypto market, whatever amount of cash that you have at that time that you can afford, right? Never invest what you cannot afford to lose anyway. that's all the crypto you get. That's all you accumulate. So if you have enough to get 1/10 of a Bitcoin, then you just get 1/10 of a Bitcoin. Right? If you have enough to buy a fraction of a Bitcoin, that's all you get. If all you have is $2,000 for XRP, that's all you get. That's not how these work. Your $2,000 gets you accumulation and appreciation at the same time. So a lot of people are buying or putting their money into golden eggs when they should be buying the goose. They give you the golden eggs perpetually, unlimited. These licenses will mine you for 10 years. So let's look at beverage. This is in the beverage industry, right? I have like 3 licenses right now to point my USD amount that I have mined equals up to $40. That's just daily passive liquidity and USD amount. And I'm getting the accumulations of the tokens at the same time. I can withdraw. I don't have to, go through loopholes. I have control over my wallet. This is blocks. This is commercial real estate. And let me go back to beverage real quick. These are the amount of tokens. So I'm getting more and more tokens every day, not just what my bank account or my budget can afford at the time. So no, I'm not telling the middle class, right? You got an upper middle class and a middle class that may have just a little bit of money to get in Bitcoin where there's little 2x or 3x when it's $28,000. That's just like getting into gold when it's $2,000. If you just coming in this live stream, go back and watch the beginning. And I showed you that 196,000. If you want to get 100 ounces of gold, there would be $196,000. And if you waited till it had a $200 per ounce increase, by the time you're taxed at 0.28%, that's only a $20,000 gain. Do you think that will help you through a long, drawn-out recession and commodities war that we're about to enter? No, this is going to last 4 years. So this is my blockchain. This is blocks. This is backed by commercial real estate. Commercial real estate, where you are receiving the royalties, people, of the deals from the agents, from the interest rates. How many of you all ever receive royalty income? Whether you're watching this live or on the replay, right? Let me know if you've ever received royalty. In fact, many people heard about royalty in the crypto space when Rihanna performed at halftime, right, at the Super Bowl, the NFL Super Bowl, and everyone that purchased her NFT were giving, every time her song is played, "B Better Have My Money," they are paid out royalty. That's the power of royalty, crypto, continuity, cash flow. So with that being said, this is commercial real estate. So now each real estate transaction generates fees, right? When you have these licenses on specifically not residential, but commercial real estate deals, these fees are created through closing, loans, title work, agents, brokers, and more. The royalties fees will then be used to buy the blocks tokens out of the ecosystem. That's again supporting, that makes it deflationary. So again, what is deflationary? It means more tokens are taken out. This is the principle that Bitcoin and Ethereum is built on, which means the people that's holding the tokens, it makes what they have inflationary, which means it makes it more valuable. You want to know projects like this. You don't, these projects that have infinite amount of tokens, and it's not a system in there to make it. This is why cash is dropping, and many people say cash is trash because they print it out just infinite amounts. It's $32 trillion is circulating. The more something is circulating, the less it is worth. This is basic supply and demand. So there's 600,000 software mining license. Only 300,000 are available for retail, and 300,000 is controlled by the Treasury. Right? 50,000 of these will be added to the rental pool. So now this is how the license breakdown begins. 50 to 100,000 start at 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, et cetera, et cetera. That's why getting in early, that's why timing, and these licenses, once they're released, is so important. And speaking of timing, I want to let you all know that also beginning Monday, if you want to go ahead and get position now, right? Get position now. You have to be a member. This is not found on Coinbase, which makes it even more valuable. This is not found on crypto.com. This is not found on any BNB exchange anywhere. You have to be an exclusive member like you would Costco or Sam to get access to these licenses and these digital software. Monday is going to be announced that a new licensed software is going to be released called Swipe, where it's collaborated with the Central Bank of England. Central Bank of England do not just collaborate with anybody. And every time people swipe their credit debit cards for transactions, you get royalties from that as well. When these licenses are released, they are the most affordable. As more people purchase them, as I just showed you the structure, the more the pricing increase. Again, it's just basic supply and demand. So text CC to the number on the screen, 333-444-5556. If you are outside the United States, I have that on WhatsApp. Just put a +1 because this is a global opportunity, because these are commodities like crypto, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Right? It's just not certain regions can purchase these cryptos. You know, commodities is commodities everywhere in the world. I want you to think about that. There are certain places that there is nowhere to purchase certain cryptos. So will it be a global crypto? Because if it's a global crypto, that means everyone globally will have or should have access to it, like they do silver, gold, crude oil, natural gas, wheat, corn, any other commodities. And this is how you base your decisions off of what cryptos to get, which one will be a global impact, and that everybody everywhere globally have access to it. And then we also have drip. Drip is coming. Drip helps the farmers in Ghana be able to provide water to their crops and to their land. I personally am investing in drip just because of the cause. Just because of what it's doing, just because of what it's supporting, right? So irrigation, better irrigation systems in place, applying controlled amounts of water to land to help grow their crops, landscape plants. That's called drips. Getting in and timing yourself. You're going to have the most affordable pricing, and you're going to accumulate the most tokens up front. Again, it's about accumulation. It's like the same of purchasing an ATM that gives you infinite amount of cash. Again, a goose that lays the golden eggs. Also, someone asked, I have not forgotten, where do I get my silver and my copper and my affordable gold? Also, I want to bring to your attention that I talked about the number 44 earlier. The Bretton Woods system has not been around for long. And I want you to look at the month, July of 1944. This is why July of 2023 is going to be different, because Bretton Woods was created in July 1944. And in addition to, with this being said, by 44 countries. Elon Musk purchased Twitter for $44 billion. Number 44, again, representation of changes of what would happen specifically with the currency system in this earth realm. And again, I told you all the system convertibility lasted until 1971, being able to get the real money. And this is a photo of, the 44 countries in their meeting. And these countries right now are saying, you know what, this gold standard is gone, right? It was adopted after World War I. We're not getting robbed anymore of our rich wealth of having commodities. And so they're going to get central bank digital currency. Okay, millimoves.com. Someone says Nipsey started that with his victory lap. Started what with his victory lap? I'm just saying a statement. If you can elaborate on that. This is, you go to millimoves.com. This is where I purchased, because one of the reasons why I purchased is because it's 99.99%. It is pure silver. Another reason why I purchased from here is because it combines artwork with the physical silver, right? If you know anything about rich and wealthy people, they invest in artwork that would appreciate and value as well. So they have the Looney Tunes. They have this a half an ounce silver cross, the Batman silver coin. I personally got this one today. I just thought that was beautiful. And they also, like cryptocurrencies that I talked to you about, have a limited mint, right? So this is a beautiful artistic design. And this mint is the first of a bullion series that started in 2017. I just love the artwork, right? On this, I grabbed some of these today. This figure 8, they had the Kobe that's not available. They had the Kobe Bryant figure 8. I think I have that here. The Black Mamba figure 8. It was 2 ounces of 0.99 silver. So when these go away, they go away like the cryptos. This is the 8 Dragon and Rabbit, the high relief coin, limited mint of 333. I could go into the 333, but 3 is the number of transformation. That's why Jesus was recorded as dying at the age of 33. 33, the number of illumination as well. Ice is then able at 33 degrees to be liquidated, turned into liquid at 33 degrees. The number of transformation, transforming. Jesus transformed from a physical to a spiritual being through death. So you have limited mint of 1500, Solomon silver, antelope, 4th chakra, reverse, just beautiful artwork and silver combined. Beautiful artwork and very affordable. They do have some gold that's affordable, right? If you're going to get it, I definitely recommend to get at this prices again, just because of the return on investment, and that silver and copper will outperform gold in a bull market because of the shortages, because of the global shortages. This is my figure 8 Black Mamba Kobe Bryant that I also purchased on their website when they were available. It's not available anymore. That's beautiful. And yes, these are my real nails. So people ask me that all the time. Copper, you have to get it while they're available as well. Hello to you. United States is destroying itself and mass exodus will occur. This have already begun. Oh, Nipsey started that with his victory lap. Okay, the NFT that Rihanna used. This is copper. They had Bitcoin copper available and copper bars. There's a global shortage on copper as well. a global shortage on aluminum. There's also aluminum linked crypto licenses that you can purchase as well. So gold, silver, platinum, palladium, titanium, uranium, copper. Yeah. You want to get in crypto linked commodities, people, because they have the same specifications and likeliness of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And again, you get them fraction on a dollar. So text CC to the number on the screen. Go to Miller Moves, get your copper and your silver, 331-444-5556. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up. You all have a great Friday. Queen out.